Mariupol's grandiose drama theatre dominated the centre of the city since it was built in 1960. But in 2022, it was destroyed by a Russian bombing which remains possibly one of the worst war crimes of the entire war. It was being used as a bomb shelter at the time, and the Ukrainian government estimated around 300 civilians were killed. A later investigation by the Associated Press estimated that figure could be as high as 600. But there was no mention of that when the local Russian authorities announced the reopening of the theatre this week after 3 years of reconstruction efforts. The reopening of the theatre is the capstone on a multi-year kind of propaganda through reconstruction programme. The Kremlin's idea is that by turning Mariupol into a flagship example of rebuilding in the occupied territories, it can stamp its authority on and legitimise its annexation. Fighting was still going on at the Azovstal steelworks when the first Russian reconstruction plans were released. They turned out to be a plagiarised version of a Ukrainian urban development plan written several years earlier. But that didn't stop multiple Russian companies piling in over the next couple of years, claiming to be rebuilding the city. Even Vladimir Putin himself showed up in March 2023 to review what was billed as a brand new urban development. There seems to be something of a gap between what was shown on television, however, and what is happening on the ground. During that visit by Putin, a woman could be heard in one of the videos shouting, That was quickly edited out of the Russian version. Ukrainian officials say that there's something more insidious going on, that this entire reconstruction effort is also part of a Russification plan, the idea being to effectively replace the Ukrainian native population of Mariupol with Russian immigrants from the mainland. Across the city, many ruined apartment blocks have been knocked down and rebuilt with brand new housing developments. Many of those are being advertised in Russia to Russian citizens at remarkably preferential mortgage rates, some of them as low as 2%. Current mortgages in Russia are going at around 20%. At the same time, many of those who lived in the apartment blocks that were destroyed have said despite being promised new homes, they've effectively been barred from moving in. They claim that they've been asked to produce ownership documents which were often destroyed during the bombing, that they can't possibly take out a mortgage because they have no wealth left. It was all lost in the battle. Some local residents say they have been offered new homes, but in developments on the outskirts of the city. They suspect that's because their own homes in the city centre are prime real estate for the Russian developers. The upshot is essentially a programme of resettlement, of bringing in a population of native Russians from mainland Russia to effectively replace a large number of the 3/4 of Mariupol's population who fled or were killed during the battle. Which brings us back to the drama theatre, which sits in that lovely landscape park on the hill in the middle of Mariupol's old town. It will be opening on Friday evening with a comedy by an English playwright. It's exactly the return to normalcy that Russia wants to portray. Ordinary citizens paying just 400 rubles a ticket, about £4 in British money, and nowhere is there any mention of the atrocity that occurred here on the 16th of March 2022.